hereditary, flip venom, old-timer. That's sad.
Well, we can still end this and still beg God, and it is disgusting, sir. This could have been any one of you, ladies.
Well, apparently you do, because we're standing out here.
We live in a world where this happened.
It's disgusting your language, ma'am, around children.
Okay, but why do you feel the need to protest here? Like at a festival?
We're not protesting the event.
In front of kids. No, but
There's kids right here and you're showing that. They're usually not aborted when they're that big.
Yeah, they are. They're murdered from fertilization to birth. And I don't understand why people get so upset at this, but they don't have a problem with this actually happening to children. That doesn't make sense to me. We should get more offended that this actually happens to children, that we show it to people. It's upside down. Well, so that's why you're angry, because you're treating them as not people. That's what we did in slavery. We treated black people like they weren't people.
It's totally different.
No, it's
up to the woman. It's
not.
in the woman's body.
See, that's why you're upset, because you have to humanize the preborn. They're people. Basic biology, science, and technology have affirmed that. Common sense affirms it.
When does it have a brain? When can it feel pain?
It doesn't matter. They're already people. They're already people. It doesn't matter how developed they are. From the moment of fertilization, there may be someone here whose brain isn't fully functioning. Someone here who's maybe missing an arm, a leg, or someone who's.
While in development, that's different.
How's that different, ma'am?
Because you're out of the womb.
So is that the location that we can murder people if they're inside their mother's body?
It's not murder because it's not a person. It's not murder until they can feel pain.
Ma'am, it doesn't matter if you can feel pain. There are people in the world that don't feel any pain at all. Should we murder them?
I don't know why you have to do this in front of kids though. Why you have to?
Because we're living in the midst of a Holocaust, and wherever we go, there's going to be kids. Can't avoid that. But people should have compassion. They should see, yeah, we're living in a Holocaust, and we need to do something to abolish this evil. Just like in Nazi Germany.
Isn't there graphic stuff that kids should not be seeing? Like that.
Kids are watching that.
Well, if you're pro-choice, why do you not like the signs being shown? Because we're showing you what pro-choice looks like.
Because that's very graphic for kids that are all around.
Well, this is the face of choice.
Look at that. They're not traumatized at all.
I was last year. I saw this and I was like, why? I've never seen this type of thing before. I went to a Christian school.
Okay.
I've never seen this type of thing before because the teachers didn't show it to us.
They should.
Too bad. They should.
They should.
In order to end a Holocaust.
So you can be knowledgeable. So you don't repeat history, which we're doing.
There's a reason why one of our former presidents and military general, Dwight D. Eisenhower.
But it should, ma'am. It should make you uncomfortable because
What else are you guys
You're like saying that women can't have a choice what they do with their body.
it's not. These children are not their bodies. These children are not their bodies.
Inside of a woman.
What if you
Yeah, but it's not their body.
You had to carry the kid and you gave birth to it. You would have.
We have a sign over here. We have a sign over here that talks about rape right here.
What if you hated that kid? What if you hated that kid because it reminded you of such a traumatic experience?
And I guess tear out the woman's brain. Tear out the woman's mind.
Did you hit that kid and kill him because you didn't like her?
No, that's different because that would be.
It's only different because you're saying the location.
You're gonna kill the child.
It doesn't diminish the rape.
Because your husband beat you and left you and you hate that man.
No, why should a woman be forced to carry a baby to term that she's not going to keep?
She already has a baby.
That she's not going to love with her whole heart.
Well, that's her problem, not the child's problem. She can love that child.
She isn't forced by
She can love that
anybody.
child.
It's up to her. It's her choice.
Well, this is what that choice looks
Why
like.
should she have the choice to kill that child?
Because it's inside of her. If you have the right to
her
kill
body,
somebody,
it's
inside of her.
If you have the
If
right
you
to
put a
kill
dog
somebody
in a
who's in your
sack-
home, you
if you
should
put
have
a
the
dog
right
in
to
a
kill
sack-
somebody who's inside of you.
If you put a dog in a sack and you hit it with a baseball bat and not be charged with animal cruelty, I mean, it's ridiculous. Just because you can't see it doesn't make it less of an animal.
It's completely different. It's a dog. It's not a human.
Humans in
So-
the
Yeah, the dog is not a human
There's no
being
difference.
either.
We show more compassion to animals.
Euthanize a little baby. That's
What if
not
the
a
kid's
human.
going to kill the person giving birth to it?
Yeah.
You don't know that.
The doctors and children's never a case where that's the case.
What about a 13-year-old?
Yeah, the 13-year-old that was raped.
13-year-old that was raped is probably being brought to the abortion clinic by their abusers so that they can cover up the crime. Abortion is going to let that abuse continue. It's not going to end.
There's been documentation about men who they bought a girl like in slavery. They bought a little girl and they raped that girl for many years, and they take them for 5-10 abortions. Abortion protects predators, sexual predators, and pedophiles. I mean, you can look that up. You can look.
It helps the victim. It helps the victim to not have to suffer.
No, it puts more suffering on what they've already suffered.
Okay, but we need abortion because back when we did have abortion, when we did have divorce, women would just kill themselves.
If I had a baby inside of me that I physically couldn't take care of and that I would hate if I gave birth to, I'd kill myself.
Yeah,
That's real selfish.
No, I physically could not go through the pain of producing a child, and I could not.
It's a hypothetical situation. It's seriously bad.
It could happen to me. It could happen to any of us. It could happen to her. Any of these women here.
You know about childbirth? You know they have drugs that
I can't do that.
That could paralyze
They
you.
can give you a general anesthetic and do a C-section, absolutely no pain.
And then I'd have to have the big scar on me reminding me of the event for my whole life.
Yeah, my cousin had that twice. And
My mom had a C-section for my little sister.
My wife had a C-section.
Was she raped though? Was she raped?
she had 2 children through a C-section.
Was she raped?
No.
So it's completely different. So she chose to have the baby. Because she chose to have it.
And
She wanted to have a kid. She was excited to start a family out of it.
It looks like she was willing to go have her stomach cut open so that her baby could make it out safely. Even when her baby got injured, trying to come out.
The Lord does not create women to become mothers to murder their children. Mothers are supposed to care for, to love and nurture their children.
Well, does God want people to get raped? Does
No.
He want people to get raped
No.
to produce
She doesn't
children?
want them to be murderers.
There's so many kids that are miserable, sitting in like homes, waiting to get adopted.
So should we shoot them? I mean, that's why you're saying we should kill preborn children because they might live miserable lives.
Population spike. We're not going to be able to sustain it with our resources.
Way down.
Yeah, because of development, because we have contraception, because we have birth control and abortion.
Yeah, we're murdering ourselves. We're both controlling ourselves to death.
Okay, well, population is a real concern, and abortion is a good way
If you
to
go out to Western America, you'll find a great amount of land.
We need that area to be able to produce oxygen for all of us. We need that area to
natural
produce.
parks.
The earth is dying because
Natural
of
parks.
carbon
They're not
dioxide
farms,
production,
not
greenhouse
anything else,
gases.
just
It's
natural
not about
parks.
land area. It's about the production of food and resource plastics that we need to support people at this development level.
There's never a reason to murder somebody. There's never a reason.
Okay, but why is it up to you? Why isn't it up to the woman to make a choice?
Why are you leaving it up to her to murder a child?
Because it's inside of her.
Yeah, it's still a human being, and we shouldn't murder people.
So when do you consider it's a human being? When it's an egg or when it's fertilized?
When at the moment of fertilization, it's a human being, it's a person. Just like you and me, just much younger and less developed and smaller.
Yeah, it doesn't have a brain.
That doesn't matter, it's still a human being. Still a human being.
They're not fully developed either. Once you start down that slippery slope of trying to decide who's human and who's not, that's very dangerous. They said that slaves were not fully human. In Rwanda, they said that Tutsi tribe were cockroaches. They weren't fully human. They wiped out millions of them.
Taught the Jews were
Hitler said
termites.
that,
That was a genocide. Those were developed.
right,
Developed
but they
people,
said
they-
they weren't human. They said they weren't fully human and they didn't deserve to live. That's the same mentality you have. Let God decide which human being. Genetic needs to sperm a new human being. It's a new life that has its own DNA.
Doesn't everything happen for a reason? God's like, you know what? This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. You guys are here because God was like, you know what? You can go here. And we're here fighting because God said that, you know what? You can go.
Well, if you want to say we should, are you saying we should murder people if they're not as fully developed?
No, when it's out of the womb, it's considered a baby. A fetus is not the same as a baby.
You know, a fetus is Latin for little one.
The woman needs to have a baby in the womb and the baby outside them. That baby can, a late-term abortion can happen and that same baby can be delivered by C-section. There's no difference. Why do the abortion? Why do the C-section? what makes it different if the C-section makes it a baby and the abortion makes it not a baby?
No one would end a baby's life that late. Nobody should
Yeah, they
end
do.
it past
They do.
such a couple months.
Why?
Because then you have like
Talking about the
more than just like.
But again, you're making choices and making decisions on who's human and who's not.
And it's
You're
a
no better
woman's
than
choice.
Adolf Hitler
You're
or
making
Rwanda.
decisions who has the right to choose for
I'm
themselves.
saying let God
you
make
are
the
too.
decisions. If they're pregnant, they have a child.
What's God's
already.
decision?
God's decision is when the life is created in the womb, you protect life. When you're a human being, you protect life.
Well, we are not to play God with human life, saying you should live and you should die.
Yeah, well, love thy neighbor. We should have
We are.
women rights. We should support women
No,
to
we
make
can't
their
allow-
Yeah, we should support preborn women.
Men can't allow women's rights. That's insane. That's just
It's
crazy.
their body, their choice. They can do what they want with their body.
That's not a woman's. That's a little girl's body, but it's not a mother's body.
It's
inside.
So how
It's
is that?
inside of its mother's
How's that
body.
murdered
Yeah,
baby picture? How is that a woman's body and she comes out all in one piece without any scars on her and not dead like that child? She could come out of an abortion mill all in one piece. She went in. She comes out 5 pounds lighter.
When I was 5 years old, I had my adenoids removed because it was blocking my ears. And
This is making me uncomfortable.
I've never heard of a woman having a fetus removed
I mean,
at 5 years old. If it's part of her body, why does it grow later in life? Why is she not born with
Why does
it?
it happen in 9 month cycle?
Why does she have to have sex to have that body part? It's very strange. Why must a man give her that body part? That's not a scientific thing to say it's a woman's body.
You have people here who are less
Did you have to
developed.
carry a kid?
Yeah, you ever tried to? Have you ever been raped?
Did you carry it in you for 9 months?
She did.
Exactly.
She did.
You know what? Good job.
Yeah, but
It takes two.
More power to you if you are able to carry it.
Well, you know, have to.
Why does it matter?
Why is it up? Why is it for senators? We're all men making laws in Alabama. Why is it up to you? Why is it up to women?
You realize it's sign that in the law?
Yeah, they haven't
Because
signed
men
it yet.
care about kids until it's school shootings.
You care about kids being shot up in school. You know what? Shooting, abortion, devaluing human life
A kid
inside the
literally brought
womb.
a gun by
Then
school.
when
You know what?
they
They
go
did nothing.
outside the
They did
womb,
not do anything.
life is still devalued.
He works in my job
outside
now.
the womb.
They did
That's what
background check
Louis
and they didn't do
Farrakhan is
anything.
doing.
And that could kill millions of people that like
Yeah, you should be worried about other things too. Abortion.
We are, man. We are. We do other things. I speak out against suicide a lot, homosexuality a lot. And he's adopted. We help in different ways. She's adopted over there. We help in different ways. But people assume that this is all we do because they don't know us, because they don't like what we're doing, so they say this is all you do. Well, it's like, well, have you been following me everywhere, every day? No. We do a lot of things. So what's wrong with if you support women's right to choose? I would think you'd want to hold these signs yourself, honestly, because this is a choice. But you're saying this is the face of choice. This is choice right here.
I think that's women's choice to carry it in or not. What if the baby died and the mom still has to carry it to carry give birth to it even though that it died? And she can't get it.
I'm talking about miscarriage.
We're talking
my
about.
mom had a miscarriage and it crushed me. I was what, 4 and she had to explain to me what a miscarriage was. It was really sad. I was excited for my new sister.
We're talking about man-made miscarriages.
No,
Abortion goes in.
that's different because my mom said she wanted to give birth to a kid. She was excited. She made my whole family very happy and excited to have a new kid in the family. Bro, why? If my mom didn't want it's not a person yet. I was excited for what it could be. I was excited for
That's not scientific, ma'am. Science and human biology and technology have long ago proved that it's a human being from the moment of fertilization. The idea that it's not a person until birth has long ago been shattered. People still believe that, though, or say they believe it, because they want to justify their sin. They want to justify murder. It doesn't make sense. Because
Teaching women that they don't have a choice when they're raped, when they're forced to have children. Instead of teaching them that they don't have a choice, teach men not to rape. Teach kids not to rape.
Abortion doesn't undo rape.
it only adds more grief to the mother.
While you're at it, we're bringing back memories of the rape. You want to go out and murder the child because he or she's going to remind his or her mother of the rape. Tear out her mind as well. Tear out her brain. Because the mind will remind her of the rape.
When they say that a 13-year-old girl gives birth to her child after being raped, should she or anyone else be allowed to murder that child 10 seconds after the child's born?
No.
Why? Why?
While it's outside. Yeah.
So it doesn't have anything to do with rape, it's the location of the child.
Yeah, it's about the development.
Okay, so that shatters what you're saying about rape. It's not about the rape, it's about the child's inside the woman's body.
While it's inside of her,
Why does it matter the location though?
yes, it does.
Why?
Because it's connected to the woman.
Why does that matter?
It's a period.
Why does that matter?
Make life support when a man or a woman's on life support, and the preconceived connected to the man or woman, then they get part of the body.
How's it different?
Usually when the baby's born, it's connected to the umbilical cord. They ask the husband if he wants to cut the cord after he wants to cut the baby's mouth. Because it's attached to the baby if he wants a baby.
While it's inside of her, and it's up to her.
So what magical thing happens that the child is not a child in the womb, but 10 seconds later when he or she is born becomes a person, becomes a child? What happens?
It's independent because it's not connected through the umbilical cord to the mother.
So
You know that the mother's driving the child, breastfeeding the child, or both.
It's different.
so what happens?
Child through the umbilical cord, inside the womb, then the child makes it outside the
Inside
womb.
of her. It's inside of her.
So
Yeah,
again,
and the baby is still needing her nurturing, her care, either inside or outside the womb. The child will continue to provide for herself.
so again, what you're saying, the child's connected to his or her mother. So what happens that inside the womb it's not a person? 10 seconds later, when the child's born, it's a person.
Because it's the woman's choice. While it's inside of her, that's up to her. And not up to other people that tell her what she can or can't do.
So should we tell her that she cannot murder her child when the child's born? It's still up to her, right?
No, because
Why?
once the child is born, then it's more independent. It's not connected to her.
It's actually
She wants to have a restriction, then she can do that.
the child's still dependent. When a mother gives birth to a child, if she and the doctors and everybody, because this does happen probably a lot, they leave the child alone, that child's going to die. The child is still dependent. The child is as dependent now as he or she was in the womb. If you leave that child alone, they're going to die. So why is that different than if the child's inside the womb? They're just as dependent on their mother or other human beings to take care of him or her.
I'm not saying that's not a person before it's born. I'm saying it's up to the woman while it's inside of her.
I thought you said they weren't a person in the womb.
No, a fetus is not a baby. Because
So
it's inside of her.
I thought you were saying they're not a person in the womb.
I'm saying
Isn't that what you're saying?
right now, it's not a baby. It's not a human until it's born.
Like you were saying, you almost kind of feelings or what your emotion would be about it, but what scientifically it's different.
Well, it's all about emotion.
No, it's not, ma'am. Because think about it. Tomorrow you may feel different emotionally than you do now. So does that mean that?
You guys are spewing your emotions out here and you're telling us not to feel anything? What does that sign mean? Do you guys think gay people
well,
if you want people to not have kids and put them in adoption centers and you also want to ban gay abortion, what's wrong with you?
I mean, you're making assumptions about us that you really haven't asked us about.
You guys don't want gay people to adopt probably. I know people that are like you.
Okay.
Look. No, you don't. You literally don't.
We got
What's the scientific evidence that you need a mother and a father?
Sure, to make a child you do. But people have actually been doing tons of research. If you take the bone marrow from a woman and put it into the bone marrow of another woman, they can conceive a child by themselves. Look it up. It's real. People have been doing tons of research and the kids come out fine.
Well, look up basic human biology. Look up science, technology. You'll see that scientifically proven. No, I'm not saying emotions. I'm saying if you look up the facts, you'll see that these are human beings from the moment of fertilization. Listen to the words of abortionists themselves. Abortionists have said on record that, yes, I'm killing people. Abortionists have said that. Those who are pro-choice, pro-abortion, they have admitted, yes, it's killing, but it's justified. It's for the greater good. So, I mean, even it's never good for a child to be murdered.
What about meth babies?
What's that?
Meth babies. Mothers who do meth and hard
Those that
drugs.
are born with meth should be taken care of. The hospitals already take care of them.
No, they don't.
When they come out,
They suffer.
high on meth. Well, still, they should be taken care of rather than murdered.
There's never a reason to murder a child, ever. You love both the mother and the child. Mothers should love their children, not murder them. And that's what we have in this culture. We have a culture where mothers, who God created to love their children, to nurture and care for them, same as fathers, we have turned them against their own children to where they take them to be slaughtered at Planned Parenthood or other abortion facilities. It's upside down. And we go based on our emotions. We think that it's okay to murder people, or it's okay... What?
It's important to be humane.
Well, this isn't humane to do this to children. It's the opposite of humane. We would not do this to a dog or a cat. We wouldn't. So why do we do it to little children?
The dog was gonna die because it had a kid inside of it that, I don't know, that was messed up.
There'd be outrage. But there's no outrage over this, very little. So why do we, if someone were to come here and show pictures of dogs who were ripped apart or cats, there'd be outrage, right? If they did it out here. But you show a picture of a child murdered by abortion and no big deal. People want to justify it. Because animals do not get in our way of having sex. Human beings, children get in our way because when people have sex, children are conceived. And men don't want to own up to their responsibility, so they force their child to pay for their sexual irresponsibility. That's why people justify it, because they don't want to be responsible for their actions. And so they go off their emotions. They know it's murder, but they want to justify it. And they have to deny basic biology, science, technology, common sense in order to justify their sin. That's what people do. When you think about, like, the pro-choice movement, they go off their emotions. They don't go off facts. They don't go off anything that we said. Technology, when mothers go to see ultrasounds of their children, we know that they're looking at a child, not a fetus, not a blob of tissue. When a mother says, when we talk about baby showers, I've never heard once people say, well, she's going to have a fetus shower. Always a baby shower.
No, because they're preparing for a baby. Like, it's a fetus right now.
It's already a child. They're just preparing for when he or she comes out of the womb.
But the basic thing I've noticed in this is that this is all based on emotion. That when a mother wants to be pregnant, she's carrying a child. When she wants that child, we don't say it's a fetus. We only say it when she